Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Canadian Jail War Stories. We're doing the Endlessly Interviews Eddie series, part
Part
8.
8.
All right, yeah.
All right, guys. So, Endlessly Interviews Eddie, Part 8. Um, we have a bunch of really good questions tonight. Kind of all over the place questions, but very intense and very real questions. So, y'all keep sticking around. We're going to keep making these episodes for you. Here we go with question 1. You ready, Eddie?
Yep.
All right. All right. So, what is the worst thing you heard of a guard doing to another inmate?
I've heard lots of things that guards have done to other inmates, but me personally, they've starved me out in the hole. But the worst thing that comes to my mind right away is this guy, the SEAL from Maplehurst. Everyone knew this dude called Mighty Mouse, and he used to punch out inmates all the time. He had hands like that, and he was really bad on that. And he actually used to fight inmates all the time and knock them out. And he actually knocked one inmate out, got on top of the bench part, and jumped on his head, and actually killed the inmate. And then he ended up getting charged for it. They shipped him out to a penitentiary out in BC, right? And he ended up hanging himself because he couldn't handle doing the time out there. I guess because he was, I don't know, but he hung himself. So yeah, that's the story.
Wow.
That's what I. That's the worst thing I've heard. Yeah, a CO killing an inmate.
It's terrible. All right. Question number 2. What's the difference between a jail and a super jail?
The difference between a jail and a super jail is kind of what it sounds like. Uh, a jail is like 600, 700 people. It's a lot smaller, um, probably a lot older. Okay, and usually they're ran by inmates most of the time, like where the inmates cook the food, the inmates do most of the stuff. Um, these super jails have like 3,000 people in them. Like it's a lot bigger from like a 700 man jail.
Yeah.
And then they also have a woman's side most of the time. Like the three that I know that I've been in, Maplehurst, Lindsay, and Penetang, those three places all have women's side as well. Like they have Lindsay has a Lindsay women's side, Penetang has as well, and then they have a mental ward across the road. So they also have like a mental, a mental facility.
Yeah.
So they actually have three different buildings on the property. And then Maplehurst has Banyang. It's called something different, but it's still on the same property. Um, and so these are really big places. I actually have some footage of like thumbnails and stuff on the channel somewhere. You can actually see from the top how big these places actually are. They're like pods. So, and they're fairly new. Maplehurst had an old part of the jail and then built the pods, which was new, super jail part of it, and then the new jails were just built in Ontario here. These super jails, and they're huge, and they're like pods, and they all look identical. It's weird,
Wow.
and you get served the same food in all of them.
Oh, really? So
Yeah,
it's regulated like that? Okay.
yeah, it's weird.
It's just so different with Canadian jail and then like terminology even in America. We'll have to go over that one day, but like jails, county jails is what we,
Yeah, we've
especially
run.
on the it's just so different.
You guys
And
want to know the difference between jail and like the terminology between our U.S. or your guys' U.S. and ours in Canada, the jails and the county stuff and prison and penitentiary? We have a video of that. Check that
yes,
out.
yes. Because it can be deceiving if you don't really know what you're like, if you're not knowledgeable of it. Because it's a whole different thing. All right, so question number 3. What is it like when a guard chooses a cell for you or when they let you choose a cell of your own?
Yeah, that's when you know you're going into a crazy place when the guards don't give you a cell. That means that it's so gang ridden, it's such gangland that they're scared to put you in any cell. They don't know where to put people because they could put you in an op cell and then you get killed in the middle of the night or you kill someone in the middle of the night. They don't want to be responsible for it, so they just say, okay, everybody find their own cell type thing. So you got to fend for yourself, find your own cell. That's pretty pretty scary for most dudes. Me, I liked it personally, but I'm just, I'm a different type of person. I'm a different breed. And
Word.
but yeah, most dudes are like, what? Never seen that before. And I honestly had never seen it before, but I caught on right away, and I was just like, oh, cool. And usually they tell you what cell you're in, and then it's a pain in the ass. Like in these jails where they tell you where to go, what cell you're in, you end up stuck in the cell with this person, and then you gotta, if you don't like the person, obviously now you gotta get rid of this person, knock them out, or fight, do the friendly fade, or whatever you gotta do to get them out of the cell. And I don't know. I don't know. It turns not. It's not very friendly though. I tell you that. But it's one on one. That's why I called it friendly. But I don't know.
Another thing I want to put in before I read question number 4 we're on.
The reason I say I don't know, I'm not trying to like glorify violence anymore and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think violence is cool, but like you gotta do.
That's actually what my statement was gonna be. Can you imagine? Like, think about what you have to go through. If anyone can imagine living with another man or another woman, think about what you have to go through. How he's not glorifying violence. Like what you have to. You feel me on that, Eddie?
Yeah, like imagine it's like some crazy friggin' booster crackhead psychopath.
Yes.
And you don't want nothing to do with these people. You know what I mean? Or like somebody like the gang people understand a lot. Like, what if it's two different gang members? What if it's this? What if it's that? You know what I mean? There's a lot of reasons why guys don't get along in the cell, and so it's pretty good when they can pick their own cells. It avoids a lot of violence. It avoids a lot of dudes trying to get rid of dudes out of their cell.
All right, perfect. So that leads on to question number 4. What do you prefer, an open dorm or a 2-man cell?
Well, I'm just gonna say 2-man cell because I've never been in an open dorm ever.
Okay.
I've never been in an open dorm, never. I've always been in 2-man cell. I've been on different kinds of ranges, different kinds of pods, and different types of places, but just always 2-man. Like the place I'm in kind of will look different. Like I've been on long ones where it looks like the bars that you see, and you see like on pictures and stuff, you'll see the long bar type jails, and they're all rows of cells with bars, and then the ones with the little hatches that open up with the food.
What do you prefer out of those then? That's a good question.
Between the bars and the hatch door with the little window, I would prefer. I think I would prefer the door because it's more privacy.
Okay. Yeah. That's true. That's very true.
Because in the bars, we always got to put a sheet up to block it,
Right. Okay, question 5, everybody. What is the most common or popular job for men in the pod when you working in the pod?
Jobs in the pods. So you got like the people that go out to do laundry. That's not even in the pod. They go out to do laundry, and then some guys go out to clean out in the building. But mostly on the pod is the servers, the cleaners. So what that is the 2 guys on every pod here in Ontario, in the jails here. It's like where 2 guys are the servers or the cleaners, and that means if like in Maplehurst they eat in the cell, so they serve the food every meal. They take all the cold trays and hot trays and serve them out. Bring around the hot water for people's coffee and stuff like that. Bring around the morning juice and the milk, and because it's in a big jug and you got to put your cup out type thing. That's at Maplehurst. Well, these guys have a lot to do and like sweep and mop the range, keep it clean. They do that, and they get an extra meal for it, an extra cold tray, an extra hot tray every meal. Both servers get that, right? And in some of the places where it's not like that and you eat out on the range, it's not so hard for them. They just, because everyone gets their own food, right? So then they just basically just got to clean. And that's basically it, and keep the range in order. They're expected to basically keep the range in order, like sort of like a, you don't go talk to the COs type thing. You go to them. Hey, can I get some jail soap? Can I get some request form? You feel me? That's kind of how it is, the vibe. Like that's what the people are doing. Like that's their job. I'm trying to explain how their job works. So this is the stuff required of them to like help new inmates get like request forms, or so they'll go up and be like, yo, in our jails, everybody knows there's servers. Everybody's used to
Yeah.
that. That's the way our jails work. So right away, someone will come in and be like, "Who's the server?" Right? And they'll be like, "Oh,
Right.
these two right here." You know what I mean? So that's like a job that people really want to, because it comes with a big benefit of another thing that I've spoke on about how the PKs work in our system. But yeah, so
Alrighty. Do you want to speak on any jobs that you did or didn't like that you had, or what you did the most?
I actually did. I actually was a server one time in Maplehurst on 1H, um, back when it was like friggin' intake. You used to go to 1H or Unit 1 for
It's
intake
always, yeah.
to put you to the pods, right?
Hmm.
And Unit 1 is the old part of Maplehurst. That's still bars. It's not the new part of Maplehurst is like the pods, the super jail kind of part. Because Maplehurst is a really old jail and it's that big where they kept the old part of the jail and then added on and built the super jail part of it too, like those other two I told you about. So that place, it was like you come in and right away you would go to this. There was like, because usually, okay, on the pods, the best way I can explain it, there's A, B, C, D, E, F on every pod, right? So on the unit one, it wasn't like that because it was the bars. It went all the way to from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, J, K, L, and L was the whole. And I think they even had K full
Oh,
too. So they had A B C D E like ranges, like A B C D E F, like long bar ones, like the Dawn kind of like. So it's A B C
right.
D F G H because I remember I was on H, and then J K L was the whole, K was the whole. Yeah. So we used to when we couldn't see nothing. We're like in this range and the door's shut. We can't see anything except for our own range. And then like so guys would come around to do like laundry and cleaner and stuff once in a while, and that's the only way you could communicate between different ranges is the guy that would come around with the laundry bin.
Word on the real. Oh, well, this kind of like
Oh,
the next
sorry.
question.
So when I was a
Good, good.
cleaner, I was a server though. I was actually a really good server. Like when I got the extra food and stuff, a cold tray and a hot tray every meal. That's a lot of food, right? When you don't have the food and you only get one tray per meal, a lot of guys it's not enough and they're starving and it's like. But when it's two meals and you're getting two of every meal, and the cold trays and the hot trays, it becomes to be a lot of gel food, a lot of too much, you know. So you're getting double of the portion of the meat, you know, and then four sides instead of two. So I was always giving away the two extra vegetables on the second hot tray. I would take out the meat, whatever it was, and give away the second hot tray, the like vegetables, whatever it was. So I already have like 1.5 trays, you know.
Right.
I would give this vegetables all the time to my homies, and they loved me for that, and I would always do that. And then when we were like smoking and stuff, I would always smoke and then bring it to them when they're locked up. Smoke with this homie, and then smoke half the switch, and then go down like 3 or 4 cells to my other homie's cell and smoke it. And then like I would spray the spray bottle. I had this spray bottle that I had shampoo and water in, and I would spray it and get rid of the smell because like
That was my next question. So go ahead and
the
speak
door
on
was
that.
closed, right?
What did you do to get rid of the
I'm
smells?
always, yeah, well, we're sweeping and mopping, doing our morning routine and stuff, right? And it's like in the pot or in the range, it's like this door is shut, so we can't see anyone coming. We can't see anything, right? It's just the front door shut, and it's only like a little window like this, and then they come in, and it's just like the door is like right there, you know, right, and then the showers are right at the front. So this was a different type of pot range, you know, and I liked it though. That was pretty
What
cool.
was the hardest smell to get rid of?
You
Well, like
it wasn't hard to get rid of, but it was though. You know what I mean? I think they always end up smelling it, but like I try to do my best to end up. If they don't come around for a long enough time, we're good. You know, but if they
right.
come up out of the blue and they end up smelling it, you know, but the best I could do is spray my bottle thing and I would go up and down the range. But they had cameras and they tried to like look in and shit like that sometimes. So I try to like be discreet and like walk backwards toward the camera and like spray it like this in front of my chest like this and walk backwards, you know?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sneaky. Oh,
Yeah, well, we had to because there's fucking camera, right?
word. I
And
get it.
no one's watching. When we're out spraying the bottle like this, they know and they'll just come right in and shit, right? They go, oh yeah, I spraying the bottle and what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. So we kind of like have to be discreet and like walk with it like kind of like in front of us, like
Hey, you got to do what you got to do in there, regardless.
yeah,
It is what it is, right?
yeah,
All right, guys. So it looks like we're coming to our last question, and then if we have time, we'll do a bonus question afterwards. So you ready for the final question, number 8?
yeah,
Ready?
yeah.
Serious question, though. Very serious question.
Question 8.
Question 8, and like I said, if we got time, we'll do the bonus part 8. All right. Longest time of the day in lockdown, and what did you think about during that time when y'all were locked down? It's a lonely time.
During which lockdown?
Just being locked down, meaning like when the range is locked down.
Okay. When you're on the range lockdown, it's like I got guys trying to like, yo, can I get some Seroquel? Can I go buy some Seroquel from you? Because a lot of guys can't get certain medications that help you sleep. And I was a master at getting these kinds of things. I could get anything. I had everything in there, yo.
So it was people being desperate, like they just needed to
They
sleep.
want to sleep because they want to sleep all night, but then if you sleep all night, it's kind of hard to sleep all day too. For X amount of days at a time, 10, 20 days at a time, you're not doing
Yeah.
nothing, can't get out of your cell. It gets real, real boring, and it gets to the point where it's just like trying to do anything to keep uh, your mind doing functioning properly, right? So I try to do a routine and stuff like that. I try to just sleep at nighttime. Me personally, I would only sleep at night and do the same routine I did every day and stick to that just by doing it in the cell. And I just draw a lot more, and that's what I did. I would draw, and I would
What
do.
was the hardest part of that day during the day? Just morning, night, all of it.
We, you know, when you're going to sleep.
That's actually a good answer. Wow.
Right before you go to sleep, you're laying there, and that's the hardest part of the day because you're laying there thinking, damn, And sometimes it's hard to go to sleep, and that's why guys want certain meds to try to get to sleep, you know. But yeah,
For real. For real. I guess you actually answered that by starting it like that. Wow. That was really cool. If anyone's still watching this to the end, then listen, he's a real one. All right, so here goes the bonus question. All right, here we go. Serious question again. Did you find what you had wanted or had been thinking about the whole time after you were released?
yeah, because when you're laying there dreaming and you're thinking, damn, this is what I want to do when I get out. I don't want to be like this no more. I don't want to be in here no more. I don't want to waste my life no more. Yeah, and you're thinking you want to get a great woman and just live happy and do the right thing and live like a bye-bye assistant and be happy. And that's what I finally found. I found honestly, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And I will say this, everyone, this wasn't like a corny ending or anything like that, but Eddie's a real one. And if you all even knew him as much as I do, not only did he turn his life around, but the things he's accomplished since being out, like I would never, ever, ever even think of even trying to be with anybody that I didn't even know. But I hope you guys enjoy this channel. It's episode 8.
Like this.
And endlessly 8, like 8's my number, and Eddie's a real one, and I'm just so glad I found him. So anyway, guys, stay tuned for more and let us know, like ask us some questions, like let's get with it and we can keep going on and on and on. Him and I brainstorm and we work with this topic every day. Yeah, but yeah, so that's my ending. Do you have anything to say, Eddie? My bad. That's it. All right,
I'll TF all day every day. We're gonna keep pushing out content for you guys. If you guys made it to this part of the video, you're a super fan and I love you. Peace.